Hey, George. Hi, Craig. How are you? So the first thing always is, can you hear me and can you see me okay? That's the first thing. And then we can get into what you guys have been up to. I am so tired, so forgive me if I yawn. I am like so tired, I can't get over it. Mm-mm-mm. I just released my cookbook. Good, Vicky. Good. Yes, yes, and yes. Good, good deal. So, all right, great, George. Thank you so much. So Jeff is going to be coming home. I sent him to the grocery store. Hi, Barbara. I sent him to the grocery store and told him to take his time because when he gets home, the dogs are going to go crazy. And so I told him I would try to make this kind of short. I figure everybody's going to be busy with tomorrow being Thanksgiving here in the US. And so anyway, but I did want to go live and see if anyone has any questions about what they're going to make tomorrow or share what they're going to make tomorrow. Personally, I'm not making anything because I already cooked Thanksgiving 10 times at least, and I have stuff in the freezer. So tomorrow, the sous vide is going to be, is it tomorrow? No, it's not tomorrow. Oh God. It's not tomorrow, is it? I know. I'm going to freak everybody out. They're going to be like, wait a minute. What? No, it's Thursday. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. I'm all lost. I'm all lost. It's been crazy. But anyway, I've already cooked Thanksgiving. Everything's in the freezer. So tomorrow sous vide is going to become my best friend and I'm going to bring things out. And I was going to make lasagna, but Jeff said, no, why don't we go ahead and have, all the leftovers that you cooked, because the turkey sandwich sounds good. Of course, I'm going to have to get some bread or make some bread because I like it on white bread only, right? So I'm real funny about turkey sandwiches. It has to have a little bit. Oh, and I didn't get Jeff to get me lettuce or I'm oh gosh. And I like the cheap white bread for turkey sandwiches. Isn't that funny? Not even homemade. Anyway, so we're going to use the sous vide and we're going to just heat up all the stuff that I've already made and then have dinner. So that's my plan. What's your plan? Um, so Donald, I did not buy the new Possible cooker. So there is a new one out that I just sort of learned about not that long ago. It's the Possible Cooker Pro. I think it's called Pro Plus or something. Hey Jeff, how are you? I forgot to tell you, maybe we should get bread and some lettuce and some regular American cheese for turkey sandwiches. But you could go out. We could go out tomorrow too, because I have to go to the doctor's tomorrow in Tupelo. So anyway, oh, there you guys. You guys, we're live. So I'm having a conversation with my husband who's in the chat. That's hilarious. Um, and Victoria's going to her family's house. That's nice. We don't have any family nearby, so it's just me and Jeff, and that's fine too. Um, and did I see John is in the chat? Hey, John, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. So anyway, yeah, so we're just doing leftovers and we're going to do them on Thursday, the real Thanksgiving day, not tomorrow that I mistakenly said was Thanksgiving. So there you go. So about the Possible Cooker Pro Plus, I don't have it. I'm thinking about getting it. I looked into it a little bit today because I had a question whether or not the recipes in my new cookbook will convert to that appliance, the Plus. What I could find online was that the only difference really is there's a pasta, like you said, I think there might be a pasta and a rice function, and then there is an integrated probe thermometer. So I believe those are the only differences. The size seems to be the same. So the recipes for my cookbook should convert fine to that appliance. As far as like what the pasta thing does, like what that function does exactly, I really don't know until I get it, which I probably will get it and try it out. But I haven't been too thrilled with a lot of the presets. Like there's a pasta and a rice on the Ninja Combi, and I don't like it. I don't think it works well, and it doesn't work for me. Okay, that doesn't mean it wouldn't work for you, but it doesn't work for me. My rice never turns out right, so I always use steam. And the pasta, it's weird because it like preheats and then just stops on the combi. I'm not talking about the Possible Cooker Pro Plus because I don't have that one. So for me, I don't really find those functions very helpful. Just like on the Instant Pots, a lot of times they have a rice button, a soup button, and all that stuff. I don't find those very helpful either because I figure you can just set your own time and that way you're more in control. So the presets, I mean, if they work, they're nice, I guess, because you're pushing one button, but I don't mind pushing 3 buttons. I don't mind saying pressure cook, high, and then this much time, and then start. I don't mind doing that. So I try to stay in control of my cooking time as much as I can. So I don't use the presets too often. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Hi, Simon, how are you? Yeah, I'm just going down here and saying hi to people here. Hi, Grateful, how are you? Oh, okay. Let me read this comment here. Let me read that. Okay. Kind of a newbie here. My husband just brought home an 11-in-1 Possible Cooker today. How excited. I'm excited to use it. Yes. Okay. So, I would say it's a pretty straightforward appliance, but people do have issues with slow cook on high is pretty quick to cook. So keep an eye on it when you're first, taking your other slow cooker recipes and moving them over to the Possible Cooker Pro. But all in all, I think you'll find that it is an amazing appliance and it's very versatile. Like the sous vide function, I think is worth the price alone. I really love it. Of all the multi-cookers that have sous vide, I found that one is the most, let's say, precise. It's not as precise as an Anova immersion sous vide circulator, okay? Because they're designed for that one purpose and one purpose only, and you can dial in the temperature down to the degree. With the multi cookers that Ninja puts out, they really go in 5-degree increments. But I found it to be very stable and it works very well. In fact, last night we did a New York strip that I had in the freezer and we used sous vide and it was perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. Like you don't mess it up. You can't mess it up unless you leave it in there too long because there is kind of a misconception that you can't over sous vide something, but that's not true. You can. If you leave it in too long, the texture of your meat changes and it becomes kind of almost mushy. And I told Jeff that I think the New York strip, it was a New York strip. I don't know if I said sirloin before or not, but it was a New York strip. Sirloins I do for 5 hours. The New York strip I had in for 5 hours. And you know what? I think it was a little bit too long. I would go down to 4 hours on that. But I just put it in midday and I just didn't pay any attention to it the whole day because I had a lot of work to do. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Hi, Elise, how are you? And thank you. She's wishing us happy Thanksgiving. Their Thanksgiving in Canada was what, September? I always ask and I always forget. I think it's September, maybe October, but one of those months. It's gone. It's past. So anyway, now I hate when I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I am going to put my link to my cookbook in the chat here because I want to make sure that everybody knows that it's available, number one. And then also there is, that link, I think, I'm trying to think, I think there's 10% off on that link. If you go, and if you got my email, if you're on my email list, there, I think through midnight tonight, it's 25% off. So if you're on my email list, you got that link. I don't know if I can find that link because I would give you guys that link too. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go over into this so I can give you guys that link too. And my phone's beeping. Let me see what that is. So what are you guys cooking tomorrow or Thursday? Oh my gosh, how ridiculous I am. Thursday, what are you guys cooking? What's on your menu? I always like to hear what people are making. I mean, the traditional is turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, but sometimes we get some really cool ideas of different things that people do. And also, what is your favorite type of stuffing? Because I'm like the traditional, just bread stuffing, very minimal ingredients. But I know a lot of people love like oyster stuffing. In Maryland, that was a big thing. I don't even think I've ever eaten it, so I don't know if I would like it, but I don't think I would because I don't like cooked oysters. I like raw oysters, but not cooked oysters. Isn't that funny? Sorry, I'm having a little trouble finding this thing here because I've got to get into, products always change their interface. And it always gets confusing to me when they change it. Oh, I just saw it and I clicked off of it. All right, let's see. There we go. Nope, that's not it. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to get it. Hang on. This is ridiculous that I can't even find my own link. Oh, you know what? I can find it easier. If I go into my possible cooker group. Or, you know what it is? Let me just find the code. I'll just tell you the code. Why am I making things complicated? I don't know. I'm not making much sense today. I can just give you the coupon code, and then that makes it easy. And the code is holiday. No, I'm sorry. Thank you 25. Thank you 25 is the code for 25% off the book. So go grab it. That expires, I believe, tonight at midnight. So go grab that. Because that's a really good deal because it's an amazing book. It's 300 pages. Don't let that freak you out though, but it is 300 pages because there's shopping lists for everything. And I'm working on a tool right now that is going to be super, super cool, which is going to aggregate your shopping list. So as soon as I have to make sure all the bugs are worked out and all that stuff, but you can actually go through and pick like up to 10 different recipes and then hit generate shopping list, and it combines all those ingredients. So you have one shopping list instead of, 10 shopping lists individual for each recipe. So that is really cool. But I am working on the tech behind it because I want to make sure that it's accurate. So I have to do some testing and stuff before I release that, but that will be available through a link. And you'll get that link in an updated PDF version of the cookbook, but you'll also get an email from me, and you'll also have access to it through your account with the Salt and Pepper Academy, which you set up when you buy the book. Oh, Barbara, you didn't get the discount? Oh my goodness. I've tried to post it everywhere. Did you put in the code? Or did you not have the code? But I'm happy that you're happy with it. And it really, honestly, at $12.25, it is still a very good deal for a cookbook of that size. It's pretty amazing. There's a glossary. There's just all kinds of stuff in it. It's really cool. And even like for my international friends, John and George and so many other people that use the metric system, there are metric conversions for all the recipe. You just click a button and you jump right to the metric. And then also I did a lot of research on the internet and put in the substitutions for ingredients that are US mainly. And they're not called the same thing in Australia. They're not called the same thing in the UK. Canada seemed to be pretty similar, but there was a few things that my research said that might not be available. So there's a chart on the metric page that kind of gives you some ideas of what it would be called in your country, and or things to substitute for it. And I think that's pretty cool, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm totally accurate. So anybody who lives in those countries, I do want you to check it out and let me know if I'm wrong about anything, because, I'll fix it. And Wendy, it's not beta, it's released. It's just that no matter how many times you go through something, you're always going to find little mistakes. So I have found a mistake with, like, I forgot to put in the amount of water that you put in to steam the potatoes for the mashed potatoes recipe. Jeff made them last night and he found that out. And he was like, well, wait a minute, you don't say how many cups of water to put in. So I ran to my computer and updated the file. And I put a new version in. So anyone who downloaded prior to last night at 8:00 can go into their account and they'll see the date, and it'll say updated and then the date, and they can download another version if they want. And I will send out an email. I'm going to wait until after Thanksgiving to actually make all the changes that, like, another one, I think I accidentally didn't put in a tip for success in the right place, and so it was confusing. Under candied cranberries, I put, I don't know, soften your cream cheese to room temperature because it blends better. Well, there's no cream cheese in that recipe. It's candied cranberries. It's sugar, water, and cranberries. That's it. So I went in and fixed that. And I know I'm going to find things like that. And you guys are actually going to find them. And I'm going to find them as I look through. So then I'll change them all and send an email out to everyone who wants to download the new copy. But nothing is really like detrimental. I mean, nothing, thank goodness, has not been like terribly wrong. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Wendy, I'm not sure what you mean. What is the best way to connect? The cookbook is for the Possible Cooker Pro. So if you don't have the Possible Cooker Pro, there's really no reason to purchase it. Okay. I mean, honestly, there's just no reason. So I wouldn't worry about it. But if you mean something else, let me know. Also, did anybody have a chance to go on my website and use the little Cooking Pal icon that like answers questions and stuff? That's beta. That I'm in a beta test for, and I totally dropped the ball on that one because I've been so busy with this cookbook, I totally forgot about it. And so I don't know if anyone, because I mentioned it, I think a couple Q&As ago, I think. So the classic sage. And so you do the oyster dressing. Okay. That's so interesting. I've never had it, like I said, but the classic sage bread stuffing is what I like. And I will tell you guys, like if you, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Wendy said my recipes convert so well. Thank you so much. And that what that means is that she's made them in other appliances and just been able to convert them really easy and no problems. Well, they're pretty straightforward, so that's good to hear though. Now I will tell you something. If you're making cornbread stuffing and if you're following a recipe and you haven't made it before, whatever you do, don't use all cornbread. It will be terrible. It will be terrible. It will be gritty. You really have to use a combination of regular bread and cornbread. That works so much better because no matter how thick or fluffy your cornbread is, once it gets moist, it breaks down too much and it really does not make for a very good stuffing. At least that's my opinion. Now, if you have another opinion, share it. Please share it. But yeah, I've made cornbread stuffing, which I happen to really like, but I've tried to make it with more cornbread, like a lot more cornbread. And no, it's gritty and horrible to me. So that's just a little tip there. And also, I hope you guys have your turkeys out if they were frozen because the time is now, definitely. We had a turkey because when I was testing the turkey breast recipes, I had a turkey frozen and it took in the refrigerator. It took 4 days for a little turkey breast to thaw. I was kind of surprised, but and you know what I meant to do this year? I'm kind of babbling on, so I apologize for that too. But I wanted to do a recipe for an overnight turkey because one time I made a whole turkey in the oven and I decided to cook it overnight. I don't think I brine this one, but brining would be a good option too. But I put it in the oven at like 250 degrees overnight, and it was the best turkey I've ever had in my life. I mean, it was so, so good. And I want to do a recipe on that. And I meant to do it this year, but I was just so busy with the cookbook. I just didn't have time because, a lot of testing. So I'd have to get a lot of turkeys and the turkey breasts were a little bit easier to do this year. So that's what I did. But I think next year that's going to be my maybe even for Christmas because people have turkey for Christmas too. Oh my gosh, John, you're so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, Wendy, I see what you're saying. You're in East Tennessee. I am in West Tennessee. You have to email me, Louise at thesaltedpepper.com, and we'll see if we can ever cross paths and meet up. And that would be cool. I love meeting people in person. It's always so much fun. Yes, John is a hoot. John is definitely a hoot. And I haven't even talked to him. So I don't know if he's seen anything about the cookbook. I have to talk to him. But when we get on the phone and talk, it's like 4 hours. So it's like I have to be respectful of his time. I monopolize it. 4 hours. on the phone with him. Ridiculous. But we have so much to talk about because we have so much in common and I don't know, we just get along so well. I love you, John. You know that, right? um, I agree, Craig. You can't beat the old sage bread dressing. Just super easy and it's not complicated. And I absolutely love it. And I'm glad I have some in the freezer because we are going to have it on Thursday. All right, guys, let's see. Are there any questions about turkey or side dishes or like timing of how you're going to do everything? Because I think that's like I think that's the biggest struggle, isn't it? Um, to get everything on the table, like hot. And and if you're making all the food, it is a lot of work. And then what? It's over in like 20 minutes, right? So if you have any questions about how to do that, how to juggle that, I'm happy to try to help. All right, that's a good question. Let's talk about that. Okay. Oh God, we all love John except for the Vegemite. Well, it's fine. All right, so let's read this. So, would you recommend doing a frozen turkey breast about 4 pounds in the 8-quart Ninja Foodie? Um, you can pressure cook from frozen. That's no problem because your temperatures are going to get up um, within the safe food guidelines. So you're going to be fine with that. I personally have never done it. So I know that my turkey breasts are usually, when I do them, they're usually a little bit bigger. Now, is this bone in or bone out? Let's get that clarified too, because that makes a difference. Bone in takes a little bit longer than bone out, but still 4 pounds. It's probably bone in, but that's a small one. Usually they're, I think, between 6 to 8 pounds, maybe even a little bit more. But, and then the boneless are only about 2 pounds. So I'm curious if it's bone in or boneless, but you could definitely pressure cook it. I don't think there's any problem with that. I mean, it's definitely, again, going to be safe. The timing is what I'm not sure about. So if a bone-in turkey breast takes 2 minutes approximately per pound to cook, and that's based on my extensive testing of like millions of them over like a couple years ago. I think I must have made like 10 to 15 turkey breast. It takes about 2 minutes per pound, I think I do, and then you minus 2 from that. I think you know what? I'm going to have to refer to my website because it's been so long since I've done that. And yours is boneless. So let me go on my boneless. Let me go on that because I do have a boneless one where I pressure cook it, I believe. Let me look at that. Hold on. Because I don't want to give you wrong information. Boneless turkey breast. And the bone-in one is also on there. So you can go to my website too. I have a sous vide boneless, but I think I also have another one. Let's see. Sous vide is a good option too if your Ninja has that option, that function. That's a good way to go too because you never mess it up. Now I know I've got boneless turkey breast pressure cooker. Maybe I don't. Sous vide. Huh, maybe I don't have one. That's weird. I have one that's smoked. Let me look. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this one. This is the turkey breast. Let me go and see what it's for. Okay, this is for the bone-in, but I do believe that I looked to see. Well, I can't believe I don't have a boneless turkey breast recipe. Well, that's on my list then. I've got to get that done. But the answer is yes, you can pressure cook it. I'm just trying to think about how much time. So let me look. What did you say it was? Let me go in here. I can't even remember what you said. Hey, Leanne, how are you? All right. Okay, so Vicky's done it. Do you have any guidance for her, Vicky, on how many minutes? If hers is 4 pounds, gosh, it's not going to take very long, but it's frozen. Gosh, I mean, I always err on the side of undercooking because you can always cook longer. And do you know if your boneless turkey breast has skin on it or not? Because that will make a difference too. If it has skin, which most of them do, but sometimes sometimes the way that they butcher them, they don't have enough skin to really coat the whole breast. If it does, then you're not going to really dry it out, even from frozen. But I would still say probably like 8 to 10 minutes, even from frozen. But I would do a full natural release. Like let it naturally release the pressure so that you don't shock it. Because when you release the pressure, it can suck the juices out of the meat. So you don't want that, because I would definitely do it above the liquid line. So you're going to want some liquid in the bottom, obviously, but I would definitely do it on the rack. I wouldn't submerge it because I just don't like the way meat cooks all the time when it's submerged in the liquid. So I would keep it above on the rack. Um, and Maggie is asking, best dishes for making one day ahead. Okay, I'll tell you what isn't good for making one day ahead usually is mashed potatoes, because they're so dense, they take forever to reheat. There are some exceptions, and there are some ways you can get around that with sous vide. Sous vide is a really wonderful way for reheating. But I think the best dishes for making one day ahead is, obviously, if you're making your own cranberry relish, that's easy. You can make that 2 to 3 days ahead. Vegetable dishes or casseroles can be made a day ahead, as long as they're not too dense or pasta based, like macaroni and cheese. Although the version that I have in my cookbook, you can make it ahead of time, because it is really cheesy, and it doesn't dry out when you reheat it, because that's a big problem with like some things like macaroni and cheese. They can just dry out and they just don't taste the same as freshly made. Stuffing is another one, although that is a little bit denser, but usually can be reheated pretty easily. But mashed potatoes, I would say no. Sweet potato casserole, yes, that seems to reheat pretty well. Um, I'm trying to think what else. Well, obviously, like if you're making creamed corn, that's super easy, because that has enough liquid that you could make that 2 to 3 days in advance and be perfectly fine reheating that. So think about the moisture content when you're reheating something and the density of it. So like mashed potatoes don't have a lot of moisture in them, even though you've added the milk, then the butter or cream and butter when you made them. The potatoes absorb all that. So if you've ever tried to reheat mashed potatoes, you can overcook them in the microwave. So I don't ever recommend that. That's my thing. I don't use the microwave too much, and I don't use it for reheating, especially mashed potatoes. But my friend Amber told me that she freezes her mashed potatoes, which I'm against that too, I'll be honest. But she would know if these were not up to par. She would not do it. She cooks all the time. She told me that her secret is to take them out, and she puts them in a little pan with a little bit of water, and sort of lets the water evaporate, but it moistens the potatoes enough. So it's essentially steaming them, really. And she says it works out great. I haven't done it personally, but that's an idea if you need to reheat your mashed potatoes. And if you have the Ninja Foodi or the Possible Cooker Pro or any appliance that has steam, or you can figure out how to do like a double boiler, then reheating mashed potatoes gets a little bit easier, because steam is a real good way to reheat something like that. Excuse me. All right, let's mashed potatoes turn into so many things. Yeah, you're right. Butternut squash reheats well and tastes like fresh. Yes, I agree with that, Christopher. Absolutely, for sure. Okay, this is a new one. Now, I've never seen this. I've put mayo in my taters. Now, I don't think I've ever seen a recipe that uses mayonnaise in mashed potatoes. So do tell, Wendy, what does it taste like? I know people make grilled cheese with mayonnaise instead of butter. That's not for me either. I know people rave about it, but no. In fact, I'm making grilled cheese tonight, grilled cheese and tomato soup for dinner tonight. Jeff is getting the pumpernickel bread, because I'm going to be making kind of a grown-up version with speaking of which, I got to go to the stove, and I'm going to tell you why, because I forgot I have it on. All right. Goodness gracious. So that's hilarious. I'm making a fig and pepper, red pepper relish to go on my grilled cheese. And I had to boil the figs to hydrate them and stuff like that. And so I did that earlier. Then the recipe, you put it on simmer and you let it simmer until the water comes out. Well, thankfully, I know how my brain works. And once I walk out of the room, I totally forget about the things on the stove, which is ridiculous, but it's true. So I put it on very low heat. So it did not boil the pot dry. In fact, I still have some reduction to do of the liquid that's in the pot, but I'll do that when I can stay there and I'll bring it back up to a boil. But anyway, yeah, so there you go. The recipe writer leaves stuff on the stove and forgets about it. It happens all the time, which is one of the reasons why I do like the auto shut off on these appliances, because what's the worst that can happen? They're going to shut off. My stove will not shut off. So anyway, so Wendy says the mayo in the mashed potatoes tastes good. I don't know if I'm going to be that adventurous. Maybe I will and try it, but I don't like the mayonnaise on the grilled cheese. It's got to be butter all the way. And the grilled cheese has to be cooked appropriately. And by appropriately, what I mean is it has to be toasted just so. It can't be over toasted, so you can't rush the process too much, and it can't be under toasted, and you can't over butter or under butter. I believe that grilled cheese is an art in and of itself. And I have found that the Ninja Combi makes some of the best grilled sandwiches ever on the toast function. Oh my gosh. And super easy. And I can walk away and forget about it because I know the timing, right? Because I've done it so much. So Wendy, the fig sauce, I have not made this recipe in years. It's on my website probably from when I did something in 2015. I haven't made it since I made that grilled cheese. So whatever day I posted that, which is long time ago, real long time ago. So I don't know. I don't even remember what it tastes like. I just remember it being delicious on this grilled cheese with smoked Gouda, pumpernickel bread, provolone, and I think I used Havarti at the time, but I can't find that here locally because, where I live, there's not a lot of choices for that. So I didn't put it on this time. I'm going to use a little bit of Gruyere instead, I believe. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm sure it's going to be delicious. I would think you could use it for dipping. I mean, it's fig and it's like a fig pepper sauce. So it gets in a food processor and gets into like a spread, right? So it would be really good on toasted little, like if you make a French bread or something like that, or buy one and then slice it up and toast it up. That sounds good. All right. So this is a question. Do I put cheese on that shredded chicken? So at John, what is John doing? John makes delicious food. Cook shredded chicken, salt and pepper with mayo, and spread between 2 pieces of buttered bread and heat the lot through. Okay, so that is like a hot chicken salad sandwich. I don't think I would like that either, John. That doesn't sound good to me. So I don't even like I don't like hot tomatoes on my sandwiches either. So if I'm going to be grilling something, and I love grilled sandwiches because I love the crunch, love paninis, but leave the tomatoes off because I don't like them warm inside of a sandwich. That's how we all have our own little, what we like and what we don't like. And there's nothing wrong with either way. Hey, Ramon, how are you? I don't know about cheese either, Leanne. I mean, and I don't like tuna melts. I don't like tuna melts because, again, mayonnaise, tuna fish, and cheese is a no for me. So chicken salad with mayo is a no already, and then with cheese would be a double no. No, no, no. Sorry, that's just me. Hey, Larry, how are you? Yes, Leanne said Ninja Combi for the win on grilled sandwiches. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Wendy, I'm with you. No, no. Well, I mean, now hot tomatoes, like I would make tomato soup. In fact, that's what we're having. We're going to have tomato soup. And I'm taking a shortcut. I freeze dried a whole batch of tomato soup that I made. And so we are just going to rehydrate it and warm it up. And we're going to have tomato soup and these, fancy grilled cheese sandwiches tonight. So, but yeah, hot tomatoes, of course, in a spaghetti sauce is fine, or even in a quick pasta where I throw in, cherry tomatoes or whole tomatoes and let those cook down to produce the sauce. That's fine. But a slice of tomato, it has to be cold on my sandwich. That's just how it is for me. Um, John says there's no salad of any sort. Well, basically in the US, when you mix mayonnaise with meat, we call it a salad. So tuna salad, chicken salad, egg salad, ham salad, which I did just have some ham salad the other day. That's delicious. I love that. So that's what I meant by salad. It's like a chicken salad of sorts because you're mixing it with mayo. And that's what we would call it. Like shrimp mixed with mayo and seasonings and a little bit of celery is called shrimp salad here in the US. So there you go. All right. George, mashed potatoes. Started to use my crock pot that never gets used since I bought a foodie to keep the cooked mash warm. Works really well. That's good to know. I tend to dry them out that way. So maybe you can share your secrets for putting them in. I guess you do low, slow cook, I would assume. And you put them on keep warm. Do you keep extra liquid in there? Um, and how long do you keep it on the keep warm or the slow cook? Because I found that if I like put it in too long, they just dry up, and I don't like them that way. So, but that is, I think, my favorite. Honestly, is sous vide. I put them in a bag, seal the bag, throw them in. They never dry out. They're so delicious and creamy when you take them out and put them on the plate. They're wonderful. All right, let's see what else we've got. It's okay. Let's see. This is interesting. It's called a hot chicken roll. If you use a crusty roll, there's no salad, just mayo, salt, and pepper. Yeah. Um, but it's called it. So it actually has a name, a chicken roll. Interesting. Now, a chicken roll, I would think if we were going to call something a chicken roll, it would be pounded out chicken that would be rolled and then baked. I would think that's what we would call a chicken roll here in the U.S. My stomach's about to growl, and it's going to growl, and you might even hear it. I hope not, but you might. All right, let's see. All right, I have a strange question, no Ninja Foodie question, but lettuce in Canada is crazy expensive. What? $8 for a 3-pack of 3 romaine. Is it like that in the States too? I'll tell you in a minute, but I don't think so. Now, the one good thing about romaine is it lasts a long time. So that's good news, but I can't believe it's that expensive. Let me look here. So it is $4.52 for romaine hearts, 3-pack, $4.52. That seems a little high to me too. Fresh, if you don't get them, there's 2 ways to buy them here. Oh, wait a minute, this one's $3.86. That is the non-organic is $3.86. The organic is $4.52. And then the fresh one where you just get one head of it is $2.72. So obviously, if you're going to use it a lot, the 3 count is a better deal. But yeah, so definitely not as expensive. I think that's like that is a lot for lettuce. Oh, okay. So I answered this in the beginning, but I'll answer it again. No, because I cook Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner basically so many times when I was testing recipes for the new cookbook that I put out, that I have so much food left over and it's all in the freezer. So I'm going to get it out of the freezer and I've already put it in the freezer, the vacuum sealer bags, and I'm going to put everything in a sous vide bath to warm up and thaw, warm up and all that stuff. And um, that's what we're going to do. So we are not going to, I'm not gonna make anything. I was gonna make lasagna or spaghetti, to be honest, because I was so turkeyed and hammed out, and like I've made a lot. But Jeff says, no, let's do traditional. Let's just get all your leftovers out. And that'll also help me, even though I've already frozen them and reheated them as part of testing the recipes. It'll still be another way for me to say, oh, okay, this reheated really well, or I had to add this to make it, taste fresher, things like that, right? Um, yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't buy it either. That's pretty expensive, really. My goodness. Um, in Australia, it's 3.90. Okay. For 2 packs in Australia. Um, let's see. Okay, so Wendy, this is an interesting thing. And I actually, when I was in Italy, I asked about this and it made total sense. I have bought organic vegetables before and I've bought non-organic. And I have found definitely that the non-organic lasts longer than organic, which I guess makes total sense because the whole difference is the way that they're treated for pesticides and things like that. So that makes total sense. Depending on what it is, I go by the way it looks. Really, that's what I like to do most. And now that I'm using Walmart, not Walmart delivery, but Walmart pickup quite a bit, it it's really hard because there's some recipes where I can't even get the shoppers to shop for me because I really have to look at the produce and pick out the best. So I'll go either way with organic or non, but I look to see which one looks the healthiest and the best. And you know what? It's not always the organic that looks the best to me. So I pick what looks the best, what I think is going to be the freshest. So, um, oh, I'm so sorry, Wendy. Wendy has the flu. Thankfully, it is not COVID. And John is correct. It's very easy to grow your own romaine. It is probably getting to be a little bit out of season, though, in Canada for that, but you can grow it pretty easily. Yeah, it is an easy thing to do. Oh, funny thing. So Wendy's saying that she doesn't trust the delivery shop either. This is hilarious. So when I was testing the recipe for the cookbook, I was doing ham. I think, yeah, it was ham. And I had been in the grocery store the day before, but I forgot to pick up the ham. So I said, well, you know what? I don't have the time to go back out. So I'm going to put in an order and I'm going to have it for pickup or delivery. I can't remember which I did. But anyway, so all the hams were around the same weight, right? So I was like, okay, it doesn't matter which one they pick out. Don't you know, they picked out the most, the biggest ham that possibly could have been in the case. It didn't even fit in the Possible Cooker Pro. I'm like, okay. So I had to go back out anyway, get the ham that I know would fit. And so I have a huge ham in my freezer that I'm going to have to do something with. So I'm going to have to test another recipe. This ham was so good. It was a spiral sliced and it was really basic. Butter and seasonings mixed into with the butter. And I like just rubbed the butter all over the ham. And then I sliced up orange slices and put little toothpicks and put the orange slices over. And I baked it in the Possible Cooker Pro. And it had the best flavor without being overly sweet, like it can become with a lot of the glazes that you put on. Oh my goodness. It was so delicious. It really tasted like ham, but also had this warmth of the spices and a little bit of the brightness of the orange. It was so good. It's probably one of my favorite hams that I've made. Although I do like the sugar crusted one too, but that's on a totally different scale. But it is pretty good. All right, guys, I'm going to be jumping off here. Jeff's going to be home anytime. Okay, and George is giving us the answer to his mashed potatoes. Um, right. Every 30 minutes, you're going to stir it, probably, is what you're saying. And then so it doesn't get on the bottom and kind of start to stick to the bottom. Add a little milk. But on the keep warm function, I find it doesn't need it for up to 2 hours. Oh, great. So that's just keep warm. So not slow cook low, keep warm. Yep. And that's going to be a little bit lower of a temp. Keep warm is going to be about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That is for food safety reasons. So that is what it is. So it's about 140. Probably slow cook on low. We're getting into the 190s, maybe even 200s. So anyway. Oh, at least you're going to grow it indoors. I have a greenhouse that I don't use anymore, and I really need to get into that. But yeah, that would be awesome. I had to bring my plants in. One is completely, I don't think it's going to even survive. It's over there, but I brought them in. They were outside, and I think it just got too cold, and that one looks rough. The one behind me, directly behind me, I think I'm going to be able to keep it going, but that one over there, I'm pretty sure it is gone. But I'm going to give it a chance. I'm warming up the plant, doing a little bit more watering to it, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, hey Bob, good to see you. And you have a happy Thanksgiving as well. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and eat great food and enjoy the company around you. And yeah, I hope everything goes smoothly. I know it's going to go smoothly for me because I've already cooked it, so I just have to reheat it. And then I'm going to get to work on another cookbook because even though it was a lot of work, it was a lot of fun, and I really like getting these out. So I'm going to do another one, and I think what I'm going to do this time is, and try to get out before Christmas, but it's going to be Ninja Foodie, pressure cooker and air crisper. Now, most of the recipes will be on my website, but people have asked me for years that they want one spot where they can go for them. They don't want to be looking all over my website for them. So I'm going to take those and put them into a cookbook for you guys. And hopefully that will be well received. I might read you some of the photos because some of them are not very good. But anyway, so good night, Vicki. Have a happy holiday. And thank you to everyone who's purchased the cookbook. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you love it. And I hope you guys have a really good week. And I will catch up with you on Tasty Tuesday, which is next Tuesday. Good night, John, or good day, John. I hope you guys had a good time in Victor Harbor, and we'll catch up after the holidays and stuff. We'll catch up. Jeff's off for a week. We're going to be going to Bethel Springs, so maybe we could call you and have a chat with you and Barry and stuff like that. Simon, yeah, I think it's going to be nice, and people want it. And I might do some new recipes. I've been thinking about doing new recipes for the foodie because I still love it. I don't want anyone to think that I don't. I still love it and I still use it. But I have done everything I can pretty much think of in the foodie. I know I have probably 150, 200 recipes in the Ninja Foodie. I mean, that's a lot of recipes. So I don't know that I'm going to do too many new ones, but I'll probably throw in a few, I mean, I can do any kinds of soups and stuff, but they're really just variations of other recipes that I already have. So I'll see. I'm going to get the list together and then start to look and see where the gaps are. Like somebody said to me today, they asked me if I had a baked chicken leg recipe, and I don't because I don't make them. I never make them. I don't eat them. I don't like the legs. So it never even occurred to me. But those are kind of an easy thing to do. So maybe I'll focus on some of those basic things that I don't have recipes for, that I don't have timing down for, just basic things, instead of full on, put in 15 different ingredients. And I think that might be helpful for people. But anyway, oh wow, 30 centimeters of snow on Thursday. It's supposed to get cold here in Mississippi too, but I don't think snow, right? Wendy, you don't need a Ninja Foodie. You've been doing things all along without it, right? I thought you did have a Ninja Foodie. The Ninja Foodie is the one that pressure cooks, air crisps, steams, and all that stuff. But they are phasing them out, so they're very hard to find right now. So I would probably say if you could find one, to me they're worth it as long as they're not too overpriced right now. But I mean, I don't think there's ever been a better appliance than the Ninja Foodie pressure cooker and air crisper, hands down. It does so much. I mean, absolutely so much. But since they're phasing them out and people can't get them, how long are the recipes going to be relevant? Because once they, I mean, all appliances are going to burn out eventually. So once everybody's appliance, like in 3 to 4 years, doesn't work anymore, they can't replace it, my recipes for the Ninja Foodie are not really going to be relevant, right? So that's why I'm doing some in the other appliances too, because I want my recipes to always be relevant, and I want people to enjoy them and make them and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, Wendy, you have no Ninja. I would have to say it depends on your cooking style, which one, but if you're not a pressure cooker, the Ninja Possible Cooker Pro is a good price point and it does a lot. Now, if you don't have an air fryer, the Ninja Combi is probably my favorite air fryer right now of all of them. I like the large surface area. I like the way it works. I like the fact that you can do like a steam and crisp kind of thing. Um, I really like the Ninja Combi. I really like the Possible Cooker Pro. And I have heard that the Ninja Crispy, which is the glass one, you use a glass bowl and then a lid thing that goes on to air fry. I've heard that's amazing, but I don't have it and I haven't used it. So I can't give you firsthand information on that. But any appliance that you want to purchase is about how you cook. Like if you're a pressure cooker, um, I would definitely say the Ninja Foodi pressure cooker and air crisper is worth it, hands down. Um, However, you can also get an Instant Pot Duo Crisp or a Pro Crisp and see if you like that. I didn't like mine that much. I still have it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like having to take the lid off and all that stuff. So I wasn't a big fan, and there were some features on it that I didn't like. Steaming wasn't truly steaming because the valve like sealed, and so you were actually pressure cooking when you thought you were steaming. So I didn't like that. So I would say number one, Ninja Foodi pressure cooker and air crisper is still my number one appliance of choice. And then after that, it would be the Combi and the Possible Cooker Pro. So that's it. Those are three that I really love. Yeah, no, they do, except for people don't I don't know if I have an audience that only has Instant Pot. A lot of my recipes that are for pressure cook, they also do that air crisp part of it. So if they don't have the Pro Crisp or the ability to do that, it's just another step. You could always do it in the oven, obviously, but I don't know. I don't know if people use my website when they have Instant Pots that much. Maybe they do. And maybe that's just something I need to be better about is when like go back into my website and make sure that the titles indicate that it's pressure cooker recipe so that people can make it in other appliances. Or I could just plead and pray that Ninja changes their mind and has like another one that they're going to release because that would make me a very happy girl. But I don't think it's happening. So I'm preparing for the end of the Ninja Foodi. I mean, all good things must come to an end. So I'm prepared for that, and I think it's gonna they'll be phased out completely in the next year or so. But then people will still have them until they no longer work, and hopefully that will be another couple years. But it depends. The newer appliances are not lasting as long as the older ones, I've noticed. So we'll see. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're not making them, that the newer ones just seem to fizzle out for people a lot sooner than the older versions, which I think that's true. We can look at just across the board, you know, older construction on houses lasted a lot longer than newer. It's just as far as we advance, we also don't always do as quality of workmanship, I think. So all right. Hey, Barb, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you love the cookbook. Hey, Norma, how are you? I'm getting ready to sign off here because I think Jeff's going to be home anytime, and I don't want you guys to have to listen to the dogs bark because they will bark their full heads off for about 10 minutes until he feeds them. And I need to make my fig and pepper relish jam, whatever you want to call it, for my fancy grilled cheese tonight. And I also need to reconstitute my freeze-dried tomato soup. So I'm going to do that. So Barb, is that the Combi or the Foodie? The Ninja Foodie? I still have my original. So that was definitely 2018. So I have my original and it works, but I get the pot notice. I mean, I do. So there's things about it, but I don't think the Ninja Combi's been out for 4 years. It has been? Wow. Wow. I didn't realize that it had been out that long. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought it had just been out a couple years. But anyway, I love the Combi, like I said, for air frying and different things like that. All right, guys. Any last questions before I sign off and wish you guys a happy holiday this week if you're celebrating and good food and um hey George, well thank you. I know you probably don't have the Possible Cooker Pro, but thank you so much for purchasing that. Oh, the combi's only been out for 2, Leanne says. Um thank you. I can't wait to hear what you think of it. And definitely take a peek at those charts in the back. So click metric and then go to the back and you let me know if I got anything really horribly wrong so I can fix it. Because again, it's just internet research. And of course, I did know some things from my travels in Australia and Italy and stuff. I did find out some things. Craig, happy Thanksgiving. I know you've already celebrated it, but happy week. Let me just say happy week for you and happy Thanksgiving to everyone who is celebrating. And I think I'm going to sign off now so I can get in. Well, that's awesome, Barb. That's awesome. 4 years is awesome. Like I said, um, I've gotten 5 out of the Ninja Foodie easily. And then I can't think of I've had good luck. I'll be honest. I hear the people that are having the bad luck and I feel so bad for them because I've had really good luck. I have not had appliances die on me at all. Like the Foodie, the Combi, the Possible Cooker Pro. None of them have really given me any trouble. So I've been really lucky. If I had a lot of problems with a product, I wouldn't even do recipes in it because I wouldn't want anyone to buy it, right? So yeah. I've been really good. Um, and Barb says both of the Ninja foodies are going strong. That's great. That's great to know. I think the pot notice is one of the biggest things that happens, and that's a pain, but it's there are ways to work around it. And I've purchased a new pot before. That's one thing that I think I'm going to do is buy a few pots while you can still get them because eventually you won't be able to get those either. Oh, and one other thing, you can actually get the base on Ninja's website. I saw it the other day for the OL series, which is the one lid model. They sell a replacement base, which is basically the whole thing. So those are still available, but I thought they were a little pricey. I think they were in the $200 range, which I thought that was a little pricey because when I bought my one lids, the first one I bought full price, but after that, I waited till they went on sale, and they were like, I don't know. I think at one point they were $99 or something crazy like that. Totally worth it. But if I ever find a good deal on the Ninja Foodie, I'll be sure to post about it. That's for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Good night to everybody. Thanks for joining in. And I know it wasn't as lively or as many questions as usual, and I'm a little flighty. I'm still in recovery mode. I actually took a nap today, which I haven't been able to do in a long time, and I feel very exhausted. So sorry about being a little bit like not quite right. Well, that's awesome. 2019. Yeah, I have one from 2018, and I don't have any issues except the pot. Notice, like I said, that's awesome. Yeah, good morning, Simon. Go to bed. It's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. there. Good night from Australia. All right. And so it's your daytime, right? So good day. And I will see you guys next week. So I haven't bothered, George. I have so many of them, and I just didn't bother to do it. I may take it apart, excuse me, and bypass the sensor, which is something you can do at your own risk, of course. But I know you had some things with it too. But this one, I think, I don't know. It could be, but they're not going to replace it. They're going to give me and first of all, it's out of warranty by a long time. I mean, I've had this for years. And they're not going to replace it because they don't do that here anymore. They'll give me a Ninja Combi, which I already have. So anyway, so nearly 1:30. Where are you, Simon? Just I'm curious. What part of the country? I think I used to know this, but I don't remember anymore. Because I know it's day in Australia, it's nighttime in the UK, so maybe you're there. YouTube video. Yes, there is a YouTube video on that. I haven't done it. And I don't really like promote to do it because I don't want anyone to mess their machines up. But I've got so many of them. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a try and just see if it works, right? And hopefully it does, because the pod notice is annoying, and I don't really need to know that. I don't need it to alarm me that the pot's not in, right? I don't need that. So I'm safe enough with pressure cooking that I pay attention. So I don't need that. All right, guys, I have rattled on enough without really saying anything of interest, in my opinion. So I'm going to go. And Dublin. All right. Well, we are definitely making a trip over to Ireland next year. Sometime in 2026, we are coming to Ireland. I'm Irish. My great grandmother is from Ireland. Trying to think where in Ireland, though. That's terrible for me to not know. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't even think of it. How horrible. Anyway, I'll find that out. I'll let you know on next time I see you live in the chat. I'll let you know. But yeah, I can't wait to go to Ireland. All right, guys. I love you all. You know that. You have a great week. And if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Good night. Good night. Good night. Where can you hide? Good night. Good night. Good night. And I will see you guys next week. Okay. Bye bye.